When they take away, of course, the children suffer a lot of psychological problems because they're not with the mother. And in some cases, they're not with the father because the father is probably in jail in another jail in Bogota. Now, as far as my understanding, the Buen Pastor prison is one of the most hardest prison in the whole of Colombia. They do treat you very badly. They do treat you badly as a visitor, so I could imagine how bad they will be treated inside. Now, Liliana is in a very good spirit. She teaches her friends in there on how to stand up for themselves. She has started a library. When I went there, I was able to have a look at the library. They do have political lessons during the day. Whether they are allowed or not, they still have it. They're able to read, so they're able to talk about what they read. They may not be political books, but they find a way to actually make it look like a political issue, so they can have that social issue or that economical issue that Colombia is having. So it is a very hard situation for them. It's about an even more harder situation for the families on the outside. In the case of Liliani and two of the girls that I met in there, they haven't got a husband or somebody else in the house that is able to provide for the family. They were the only ones that provide when they were outside, and now there's no one there, so there's no much money going around. Liliani has her mother, who is a pensioner, and she is the only one that provides for the family unless there's help from the international solidarity, which she thanks everybody, because international solidarity, it is very important over there, and it helps them a lot with what they have to do and try to achieve while they're in there, which is to try to look after their family. Now, she is lucky in comparison with others, but she makes sure that everybody is able to share her luck when she's there, as in her having international visitors all the time. It helps her case, because then they know that she's being visited by international guests, and also the delegations that are going from Australia have been able, for instance, in Canada and England and Spain and France, been able to have a tour of the prison because it's a delegation and they have to open their doors to them. So there is a lot of that happening because they're trying to make it happen. If they don't fight hard enough, they will get none of this, and they will be treated like anybody else that have committed a crime, and they're not criminals. So they are making sure that they get treated like a political prisoner and not like a killer or someone that have made other mistakes outside, robberies or anything like that. They are not criminals. And they say it in the way that they present their work. They do manual work in order to keep them thinking and that they can get together and talk about it. I understand that the main prison, they do exactly the same thing. They very well organized, the political prisoners. When I was there, there was a visit on the Saturday by a comrade from Canada, a teacher, and they thought that I came with him because I had an international passport. So they asked me if I had anything to do with the person that came the previous day. I said, who was the person that came the previous day? And they said, oh, someone that he spoke English, you spoke English. And I said, oh yes. I said, no, we had nothing to do with each other, but we do know each other because we are from the human rights organization from overseas. Oh yes, Liliani gets a lot of that. So that is the sort of comments that they make around her. And she is being very hard and because she studied law and because she knows about human rights, she continued her studies, and she actually did her thesis and that. So at the moment she's waiting to see whether they will allow her to finish her university studies that she started while she was outside, but she has continued on the inside. Now, it is important that we also know that Peace and Justice for Colombia here in Australia, as well as other countries, have been a very strong and very helpful part of her imprisonment because of the international solidarity. We have here in Melbourne, as you know, Peace and Justice, and I am the coordinator in Sydney, and we try to do as much as we can. I think that what at the moment Liliane needs is the support, letters of support, which I took on my trip over there. She was very happy to receive all those from different members of the parliament, from trade unionists, and from people from ACTU, people like that. So, and also comrades from small groups like, small organizations here that they were willing to send a letter. Not everybody wants to do it, and it's understandable, they don't know, but she is allowed to receive all those letters. Obviously, nobody's going to put nothing in those letters that are going to make a conflict for her. So she knows that, and she knows that all the best wishes are the only thing that are getting there. Now, what I would like to finish with, so we can get on to the questioning, is that when they found this laptop, they said that Liliane had a laptop in her house when they actually searched the house, and she was also taken very much like Palmerio say about the other comrade in front of her two children and her mother. This laptop, they took it and they started searching, and they found out a lot of information related to the FARC. Now, that laptop was given to Liliane, and they accused her of having information that nobody else had, and that's why she was put in prison, and she will be kept in prison because there was a direct link to Raúl Reyes and others from the FARC. In this month, in September, in August, the owner of that laptop has actually published the book about the information that it was found in this laptop. Now, this book has already been published. Now, this book will be used in the case of Liliane, because all that information that they took off that computer, that they reckon that Liliane has actually put it in there because of her conversations with Raúl Reyes. It happens that now there's all that in a book because the author of this book is a researcher and a teacher from Canada who actually have published this book. So that is another piece of information that maybe will be helping Liliane in her case, because the laptop wasn't her laptop in the first place. It was given to her. So when they say, oh, you did delete that information, obviously, the person that gives a laptop to somebody else normally delete all the files and try to get a clean thing given it to them. But unfortunately, we don't know, because I had no idea about computers, all this information is kept in a hard disk, and that's where they got that information for. But they believe that it was her information, and now there's a discovery that is not her information, it's somebody else that did a study, and actually, yes, he knew and knows a lot about the guerrilla because he was there, like the other comrade when Jorge was telling us, was interviewing all these people all the time to actually do this book. This book is for sale at the moment. So if anybody wants it, it's available in Australia. And this is going to be a very big help to her case. So we hope that maybe all this will help Liliane, and by helping Liliani, it can help other people that are in prison, because she's always worried about everybody else, and that's the reason why she organized. So I would urge you to think about these issues with the political prisoners as well as what happened with the trade unionists, because 1 minute they are organizing like Palmerio, the next minute they either dead or in prison. So I really thank you very much, and I hope that we can actually all work together to make sure that the word that in Colombia there is a problem, then we all need to start talking about that, so people can understand that there is a problem in Colombia, and it's not just cocaine, it's other issues which are more important than that. Because anybody, when you mention Colombia, the first thing that they say is there must be related to some cocaine or some cartel of cocaine. That's not all that happened in Colombia. And I know for a fact, because I went there in 2006, what Palmario was saying this morning in an interview that he has about the farm, and the farm that they actually started in Colombia to actually have all these displaced people, to teach them, to show them how to grow different products, and so that way they can continue on once they have enough knowledge of how to start their farming again, because the pesticide is what has killed them. It has killed all their products because they have put pesticide to everything. And I went to a farm where if they have one tree of cocaine, was probably too much in there. Now this lady have a piece of land, he put everything else in there, but in order to survive, she must had a tree or two of cocaine. What they did, they collect the leaves, they traveled probably, I don't know how many kilometers to the town to try to sell it. And when she got there to sell it, she sold it for $50. With $50, she was able to buy flour, sugar, and other products that she needs to continue surviving. And they do this, the in and out, every time. Now, the cocaine plant only give you about 3 times leaves that are good enough to sell. So she needs to wait for another round before she can collect another $50. In the meantime, she has nothing else to eat until she can collect $50 to go and buy the sugar or the flour or whatever she needs else, apart from the potatoes that she grows and the carrots and the yuca and a bit of coffee beans and all that sort of thing. So it is very difficult for them. None of the government that have been there have been able to come with a solution for that. The only solution that they were able to find was to just kill everything by putting pesticide all the way in the whole country. So badly that in the area where it went with the wind, it took all the pesticide to Ecuador as well, and it killed some of the produce from the actually growers that they were on the other side of the border. And that creates obviously an international problem between Ecuador and Colombia. So instead of solving the problems, it creates more problems but no solutions. And I think that at the moment what Colombia needs, it needs someone to actually start looking into the solutions to all these problems. The cartels are gone. The majority of them, they're not in Colombia. But like my mayor said, Uribe, one of the first one in one of the cartels, and he was the president of the country. So it's changing from day to day. The governments keep changing in Colombia, but the same problem continues on without any solution. So we need to look for those solutions, and doing this type of forums are the ones that are going to help us out to understand what the real problems are in Colombia. Thank you very much.